We're going to pick it up with 6:30 to go in the third. The Celtics up by 4. The ball rolls away from Tatum right to Kristaps Porzingis. Drills the three.
Why not, Per?
Here's Porzingis on the circus shot.
As the ball rolled to me, I said, "This is destiny." Big that I would just let it fly, honestly, without thinking too much.
Yeah, why not?
Tatum get the assist on that?
Let's go to 4:30 to go in the fourth. The Knicks down by 5 now. Jalen Brunson drives, floats it to Karl Anthony Towns, who lays it in, Perk.
I love that two-man game between those guys. And look, big body Brunson looked like he had his legs back last night.
OG Anunoby secures the rebound, gets the putback.
Oh, man strength.
Hands play there.
Knicks take a look.
Boy, T-Moore.
And Ben Stiller, too, loving it. And then Brunson finds Hart.
Great cut.
Gets that off the glass. The Knicks go up 3 with 11.1 to go.
Got a foul, 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 got a foul.
And yet, they did not. And this is what happened instead. The Celtics tied the game at 107. A clutch shot here from Jason Tatum. And so, naturally, without that foul, to overtime we go. Final minute of overtime now tied at 112. Porzingis, he hit it from the logo earlier.
Got an unlimited range, Malika, the most important player on the Boston Celtics.
Ensuing Knicks possession here. The pass off Mikal Bridges. It goes out of bounds. The Celtics go on to win it 119-117. Porzingis 34 points. Tatum 32. Towns had 34. And Brunson had 27. So the Knicks, they've had a really good season. But this year, they just have one area that they've struggled. And it's against the teams you don't want to struggle against. The NBA's elite. New York 0-9 against the Celtics, the Thunder, the Cavaliers this year, with one more meeting against the Cavs to go. That is on April 11th. So let's stay in the East, my friends, as we go coast to coast, because the Cavaliers, they clinched the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference for the first time since 2015-16 with a win over the Bulls. Perk, how seriously are you taking the Cavaliers after this impressive regular season?
I mean, they're serious. You don't win 60-plus games without being legit. I just think that last night we saw a heavy dose of Garland. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell was out. But again, I'm going to keep harping. More Mobley. He's the second best player. If they're trying to make a deep run, it's going to be because of him.
More Mobley, Eminem. The Pacers, they won their 5th straight game with a win against the Washington basketball franchise. Windy, on a scale of 1 to 10, what kind of problem can Indy be for top teams in the East?
Big. Don't want to see the Pacers in the playoffs. No, sir, no, sir. 13 out of 16 victories. The way they play wears you out. I watched this last year in their playoff run. They have a wearing effect over the course of a long series. Rick Carlisle knows how to take advantage of that. They're going to get home court in the first round.
And I love a team that has a coordinated dance. Moving over to the West, the news that rocked the NBA yesterday when Michael Malone was fired by the Denver Nuggets. Malone was just 2 seasons removed from winning a championship and had coached the Nuggets to a 47-32 record this season. So coaching in the NBA, we know that it can be a thankless job more often than not. Lucrative, but thankless. Of the last 6 championships, 4 of the coaches have been fired by their team. So here's Vice Chairman of the Nuggets ownership group, Josh Kroenke, on what went into the decision to fire Malone.
Having observed our group over a very long period of time, what I would say is that, having observed that group over a period of time, there were certain trends that were very worrisome to me at different points in time. But they would get masked by a few wins here and there. And, in the world of professional sports, when winning and losing is your currency, winning can mask a lot of things. I think that, after talking with my father in recent days, we came to the decision that we were going to be changing these roles at the end of the season. Then your mind then turns to, well, what is the best decision for this group right now? And, from that point forward, I think that, I became comfortable with the thinking of, let's try to shake this tree and squeeze as much out of this as we can.
Okay, so when you hear that winning masks everything, what's your reaction to this?
Well, I want to say something about KSE. This is maybe not a household name. It stands for Kroenke Sports and Entertainment. They are a conglomerate. E. Stanley Kroenke and his son Josh run it. They own a bunch of teams across the world, okay? They own the LA Rams. They own the Denver Nuggets. They own the Colorado Avalanche. They own Arsenal in London. They own a bunch of other teams and venues too, but those are the 4 big ones. They don't fire coaches, Malika, okay? Stan Kroenke bought Arsenal in 2007. He's fired 1 coach since then. They've replaced a coach because a legend retired. The Avalanche have not changed coaches since 2016. The Rams, you know that McVay has been there since 2017. He's had 2 coaches changing since he's bought the team in 2010. Michael Malone has been there for 10 years.
Yeah.
They just don't change coaches. And the reason I'm making this point is because they don't come to this situation lightly. This is not like the Pistons, who have had 3 coaches in 3 years, or the Suns, who had 3 coaches in 3 years, or the Kings, who change coaches every 15 months. This is a team that is very, very careful with owners who are very, very cautious about ownership change or about coaching changes. So when they do this, you know they put a lot of thought into it. And when he says winning masks, what I took away from that is that he didn't want them to have success in the postseason and mask what they thought. Even though it's counterintuitive that you wouldn't fire a coach and then you would fire him at the end of the season, I think the Kroenkes fired Michael Malone now, whether you agree or not, because they didn't want that. He didn't want him to have a good postseason and make it not fireable.
Okay, so a Nikola Jokic goes on an insane sort of Nikola Jokic-esque run. They go deep into the playoffs, even though they don't believe that Michael Malone was the guy. Fair or not, that's their perspective. That sounds
unfair and disrespectful.
It does a little.
Argue that it is, but that's what I took away from listening to what Josh Kroenke said yesterday.
No argument out of me. No argument out of me. This is the question I have for you. Out of those 4 teams that group own, right, that they own, who's the most important player out of those 4 teams?
Well, we have a discussion about some of the stars on Arsenal, but I will tell you, all 4 of those teams have won championships in the last 5 years.
I know, but what I'm saying is this. When it gets to Nikola Jokic, I think this was just the start of what's to come, meaning that they're starting to clean house, right? Everyone is auditioning except for Nikola Jokic. Right? Everyone is under the radar, under the microscope, except for Nikola Jokic. And I thought what he's saying is he don't want it to be fool's gold by getting to the second round of the playoffs. And I agree with you on this. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, bring the squad back. No. We're going in a completely different direction. We want to win championships. Nikola Jokic is going to be here. We don't know who else is going to be.
Well, they're going to need to start that march today against the Sacramento Kings. For more on this, I'd like to welcome in our reporter who's in Sacramento covering this game, Young-Masuk. What more have the Nuggets been saying about the firing of both their head coach? And we should also mention their general manager, Calvin Booth, was also let go.
Yeah, Malika, even a day later, there are still people wondering exactly why did the Nuggets do this. I got a text from a Western Conference coach asking me what happened. Well, league sources within the Nuggets organization told me management decided or ownership decided to make this move now because they were going to do it anyways after the season. But they felt like this team was not responding in the locker room. The vibes were down. Particularly on defense, they were not responding. They've taken a significant dip since the All-Star break. They've gone 11-13. And then there's the rift between Michael Malone and Calvin Booth, really largely over personnel. Booth wanted them to play the younger role players. And, of course, Malone wanted to go with veteran players. That was kind of what he won the championship with. It was described to me and everybody else as a Cold War out this franchise. And also, this gives the Nuggets a chance to take a look at David Adelman, a highly regarded coach in the league who's had interviews with